Okay, we are live. Good morning. It is a chilly morning here in Mexico City. It tends to be quite chilly in the mornings. It should heat up nicely in the afternoon, but at the moment it is a little bit chilly. This is the first listen and write video. I hope to do more of these. Hopefully, I can do these very regularly. Um, most of you who are going to be watching this are going to be watching a recorded version, I imagine, because it's the first time I've done this. But hopefully, we'll get a few people joining us live this morning. So, the purpose of these listen and videos is listen and write videos is to give you a question to listen to, my answer to that question, and then I'm going to give you a chance to write your answer. Let me try and explain that one more time. So I'm going to take a question, I'm going to answer that question to give you some listening practice, and then I'm going to give you a chance to write your response. So you can reply to what I'm saying, or you can answer the question for yourself, or you can reply to the comments that you hear people making. So first of all, can everybody hear me? Got my microphone. I think everything is set up. Okay. So the point of these videos is that they're going to be quite short. I imagine 15, 20 minutes maximum. And really just a simple question, give you some listening practice, and then a chance to reply. As I said, if you watched my YouTube short about this, I think YouTube is very passive sometimes, but I think using this live feature is a good way to get a bit more interaction. So that is the plan. We're going to try to use technology here. So we've got a few people on. We don't need too many people for this first session. If you're watching a recorded version of this, please still participate. Put your replies in the comment section. Again, any writing practice that you can do is going to be helpful. So if you can join live, that's great. I understand the time difference probably isn't good for everyone, but participate nonetheless. Okay, so we've got a few people in our video just now, so I think we should get started. So the question I'm going to give you to start with here is, what is your favorite type of music? This is a very simple question, but people can talk about music for hours and hours. So I thought it was a good place to start. So my answer to this question, to give you some listening practice, my favorite type of music really depends on what I'm doing. Okay, the kind of activities that I'm doing. So I enjoy different kinds of music in different situations. So if I'm doing something where I don't really need to think, okay, so I'm driving or I'm just pottering around the house. This is quite a British phrase, to potter around. In the US, people might say putter, Putter, but in the UK, we say potter. So to potter around, especially to potter around the house, is to go around your house, not doing anything too important, but you're just enjoying spending time in your house. It's quite a common activity to potter around. You might potter around the garden. So if I'm doing something like that, if I'm driving or pottering around the house, I like listening to classic guitar rock music, okay? And mainly old music. So maybe music from the 70s or 80s. So Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, the Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, those kind of from the 70s, 80s. That's the kind of music I enjoy listening to if I'm just doing something where I don't really need to think. I was in my teens during the 90s. And if you're in your teens in the 90s in the UK, you're listening to Blur, you're listening to Oasis, those kind of bands. Oasis are making a big comeback next year, which I'm very excited about. So that's one situation. If I'm doing something just where I don't really need to think, if I'm driving or whatever. But if I am studying or working, I still like to listen to music, but I prefer soft music, maybe jazz or classical music, something like that. And the important thing is that there is no words in the songs that I'm listening to. So it's an instrumental. And this kind of music I find very calming. And it also helps me to focus as well. Um, so if there are words in the music, it's just too distracting, especially if it's English. Sometimes I can listen to music that is not in English and I can still focus. But if there are English words, it's impossible for me to work. I can't read something or write something and listen to English at the same time. So that's the second situation. If I'm working or studying, I really want some relaxing, maybe jazz, classical music that allows me to focus. The third situation I want to talk about is if it's the evening and I just want to relax, unwind a little bit in the evening, I like to listen to Latin music. Okay. So one of my favorites is the Buena Vista Social Club. This is probably the music that I put on most evenings if I just want to sit back and relax. And I was very lucky. A couple of nights ago, I went to see um, the Buena Vista All Stars. So they play this kind of music. Um, I also like things like bossa nova or Latino jazz as well. Anything kind of soft, but kind of warm, cheerful kind of music, a bit of energy. I like listening to that kind of music as well in the evenings. It's not distracting for me because it is in Spanish or it's in Portuguese. So I can still sit and have a conversation with somebody. Um, if I want to understand the music, I really need to focus. I need to sort of concentrate to what I'm hearing. But otherwise, I can have a conversation quite easily. So this music is just in the background. So those are the three situations for me. If I'm driving or if I'm just doing something around the house, I might enjoy listening to some rock music, classic guitar rock, nothing too heavy, but kind of classic guitar rock music. If I'm working or studying, it's going to be classical music or jazz. Allows me to focus and it's relaxing. And the last situation is just in the evening, if I just want to unwind, if I want to relax, if I want to unwind in the evening, I like listening to some Latin music. Again, nothing too loud, but soft jazz music, maybe Tito Puente or Buena Vista Social Club, something like that. So that is my response to these. So I would like to hear your response. So get into the comments. This is the important part of this. Answer the question. You can answer the question for yourself. So what is your favorite type of music? Maybe you can think about different situations like I've suggested here. Maybe your music taste has changed over the years. Maybe the music you listened to when you were younger and the music you listen to now is different. But get into the comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. So we have the first comment here. from a Susanna Sanchez. I wonder who she could be. My favorite music is one I can sing along with. Okay, that's a good point. So singing along with music. I do like singing. My wife is more of a dancer. I'm more of a singer. So we make quite a good team. My favorite music is one I can sing along with. When I don't know the words, I like to find the lyrics online and follow the song. It helps with my English, especially when I cannot understand. I think that's a good point. I think songs can be quite tricky. Lyrics in songs, they're not standard English. Some artists do have lyrics that are quite easy to follow. So if you think of Adele, for example, if you look at the lyrics of her songs, she really sings in pretty good sentences. Sometimes you need to think about what she's saying, but the lyrics of Adele's songs are actually quite easy to follow if you read them. Sometimes the music isn't so clear. So I think music can be a great way to practice your English. Some of my friends who speak English as a second language, the ones who can speak probably the most fluently, probably the most clear pronunciation, they are the ones who really love music. So I have a friend in Japan, and she loves English language music. She loves singing. Obviously, in Japan, karaoke is a big thing. And she has spent years singing English songs and practicing English songs. And as a result, her pronunciation is really, really good. And that's even before she went to live abroad. Her English got really, really good. So finding songs you enjoy, learning the lyrics, and then trying to sing as closely as you can, I think can be a really good way to practice. Okay, so got a few people in the video just now, so get in the comments. I want to hear what your thoughts are. What is your favorite type of music? I'll go back to our question here. Thank you very much, Susanna. Let me get in here. So what is your favorite type of music? Okay, got another reply here. I enjoy listening to music to relax. Okay, I usually try ambient music with natural sounds. It's like meditation. Oh, that's a good point. I like when the music has sounds of rain. That's a good point. So it's not. Sometimes you can just listen to videos and it's just the sound of rain, sound of nature. It might be a stream or it might be the ocean. Sometimes I listen to that if I'm working or studying. And sometimes you can get a combination. So there's a little bit of music and then maybe there's a little bit of rain. I listen to a lot of this when I'm working or studying. This kind of ambient. What's a good definition of ambient? Ambient. Let's see. Okay, so ambient is the sound of the surrounding area. The sound of the surrounding area. So the ambient sound of maybe a forest or the ambient sound of the beach, for example. So one type of video that I often put on when I'm studying is it'll be jazz, kind of coffee shop, and a little bit of rain noise in the background. For me, that's quite relaxing. I'm from Scotland. We get a lot of rain. So that's an interesting point. Listening to ambient music helps you to focus. It's kind of a bit of a meditation. Okay, thank you very much for that. Let's get back into our question. So again, what is your favorite type of music? If you've just joined the chat, I was explaining that I like listening to classic guitar rock if I'm driving, for example. If ever I have a long road trip somewhere, I always make sure that I've got lots and lots of albums of classic 70s, maybe 60s, 70s guitar music. It's great for just um, having on when you're driving. If I'm working or studying, it's more instrumental kind of music that I'm listening to. So jazz or classical music. And in the evenings, I actually quite enjoy some Latin music. So when I finished university, I went to Chile in South America. I was there for 6 months. Um, and that was my introduction to Latin music. And one of the bands I listened to then was the Buena Vista Social Club. So that's a very good example of the type of music that I like listening to um, in the evenings, just to relax. So, what about you? Get in the comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts. What kind of music do you like listening to? What kind of situations do you like listening to music in? Okay. Okay. Here we are. I love French music, but the old French music. Um, it's poetic. Ah, okay. I don't know very much about French music. Um, maybe I should. Maybe I should do some research on this. I'm sure that kind of music would be very nice to relax to in the evenings. Um, but old French music. So I wonder, old, how old? And maybe you can recommend some people, some artists. And it's poetic. Okay, so maybe learning the lyrics, learning the meaning of some of the songs could be good. Okay, that's an interesting one. Yeah, maybe I'll take a note. I'll look into some French music. What else we got? What other kind of music do you listen to? So we've got a couple of people saying instrumental music. But also learning the lyrics. So if you're watching this, what kind of music do you like learning the lyrics to? I had a friend. I had a friend in Japan, and the way that he learned Japanese was learning Japanese rap, and it was fantastic to watch him in karaoke singing Japanese rap music. It was very, very impressive. Singing a song in Japanese is not easy, but to sing a rap song, imagine Eminem or something like that, that type of music, but sung in Japanese. It was very, very impressive to watch. So, do you enjoy learning the lyrics to music? Um, it's funny, there's some songs that I've listened to for years that I thought I knew the lyrics, but then I realized that the words that I thought were the words were not actually the words, and that I had misheard the lyrics. So that can be quite interesting when you know a song for a long, long time, and then you realize that you've misunderstood the lyrics. Or sometimes you listen to a song for years and the you don't understand, you can't understand the lyrics, but you don't research, you don't go and find out. But yeah, sometimes that can be quite surprising when you actually do eventually go and check the lyrics. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up soon. We've got a couple more comments here. I listen to instrumental music. Um, maybe because it has no words, helps me to think. Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's nice. Again, it just creates a little bit of atmosphere. Um, so if you're working for a long time, a lot of us do work from a desk these days. So it's nice if you have a chance to listen to some music in the background and just kind of help you focus. One thing that I've been doing recently is putting on some music when I'm having lunch. Just a little background music creates a little bit of atmosphere. So that could be quite nice. Yeah, instrumental music can be quite nice. Okay. So if you're watching this live or recorded, make sure you get into the comments. I want you to share your thoughts on this question. Hopefully, if I do this a little bit more, we'll have more people joining and we'll have more of a lively discussion. But this is a place for you to practice, to share your thoughts. Thank you to the people who have joined me today. We had 4 people commenting in the live session. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more commenting in the recorded session. So, thank you very much for joining me today, and hopefully, we'll do this again very soon. Thank you very much, and I will see you again.